Hi and welcome back to session 8. So now we're looking at making relevant contributions or constructive contributions to move the discussion forward. Very much like before, all your resources are in the one place. So we'll share the screen to get you started. There we are. And here you can see we're on session 8, make relevant constructive contributions to move the discussion forward. You've got your session plan there, our PowerPoint presentation, we've got the extended reading, the worksheets, and then further reading to extend your knowledge. So let's look at getting started. So here we'll do a bit of role play, reflect, respond, and navigate workplace situations. And let's just, there we go. So by the end of this session, we would have looked at responding to situations, bit of role play, diverting questions, answering, reflective situations, giving feedback. We'll deal with some scenarios around dealing with difficult customers, giving a presentation, conflict resolution, job interviews, and teamworks. We'll tailor some of those questioning to situations. We'll handle difficult questions. We'll learn from past experiences, give constructive feedback, evaluate feedback, prepare different situations, effectively communicate, holding conflicts, building rapport, stress management, and conclusions. So let's just look at our introduction. So welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about critical or skills in the workplace responding to different situations, whether it's dealing with a difficult customer, giving a presentation, or working in a team. Being able to handle different scenarios with conflicts is essential for success. In this presentation, we'll cover everything from role play to questioning to giving feedback, and by the end of the session, you'll have a better understanding of how to prepare and handle a variety of situations within your workplace. So let's get started. So first of all, let's look at responding to situations. So in the workplace, being able to respond to a variety of situations is crucial. Whether dealing with a difficult customer or resolving conflict within a team, having the ability to handle different situations can make all the difference. It's important to remain calm and collected while being able to be assertive and confident within your actions. For example, of a situation may arise when a project deadline is approaching and there are still tasks that need to be completed. In this case, it's important to prioritize tasks and communicate effectively within team members to ensure everything is completed on time. Another example is when a customer is unhappy with a product or service. It's important to be able to listen actively and empathetically to their concerns, whilst also finding a solution to meet their needs. Overall, being able to respond to different situations in the workplace is a valuable skill to ensure that your growth within your career. So we'll do a bit of role play here. So role playing is an effective way to prepare for different situations in the workplace. By simulating scenarios, you can prepare for the response and gain confidence in handling different situations. To effectively role play, start by identifying a scenario you want to practice and then choose someone someone to play the role and someone to set the scene and act out the scenario. Afterwards, reflect on what went well and what could have been improved. Some examples of scenarios to practice include dealing with a difficult customer, giving a presentation, handling conflict within the team. So it's up to you how you do a bit of role play, but what we want you to do is one of you will be the customer, one of you will be the person, or one of you will be the presenter, one of you will be something that's listening, and we want you to just manage that conflict. And again, the worksheets are available to download. So looking at appropriate questions is a critical skill in different situations. Questions can help clarify information, gather insight, and navigate complex situations. However, not all questions are created equal, and we know that because we did that earlier in some of the earlier sessions. The type of questions you ask and how you ask will have a great impact on the response that you receive. So we already know open-ended questions, for example, can encourage discussion and provide more detail, while closed-ended gather specific information to tailor your question to those, yes or no. Answering the questions. Being able to answer a range of questions in a difficult situation is an important skill to have in the workplace. It shows you're knowledgeable and confident in your abilities. When answering questions, it's important to listen carefully to the question that you're being asked and take a moment to gather your thoughts before responding. If you do not know the answer, it's okay to say and offer and find information later. It's also important to provide clear and concise response that addresses the specific question being asked. To effectively answer questions or to efficiently answer questions, it's helpful to anticipate the type of questions that may be asked and prepare accordingly. For example, if you're given a presentation, think about what questions may arise based on that presentation. Practice answering these questions ahead of time so that you'll feel more confident when time comes. Additionally, it's important to remember that not all questions will be easy to answer. Some questions may be challenging or uncomfortable, but it's important to remain calm and professional when responding. Reflecting on post situations can be a valuable tool to prepare in future scenarios. By thinking about a time when you analyse what went well and what could have been improved upon, we can learn from our experiences and make better decisions in the future. Effective reflection involves asking ourselves questions such as, what did I do well? What could I have done differently? Or what did I learn from this experience? So that's Ralph, or you've got Gibbs' reflective cycle. This looks more like Ralph to me, it's very short. By answering these questions honestly, we can gain insight to our strengths and weaknesses and develop strategies to improve our performance. Giving feedback and receiving feedback is an essential part of professional growth. It helps us to identify our strengths and weaknesses and provides opportunities for improvement. When giving feedback, it's important to be specific and provide examples. This helps the recipient understand exactly what they need to work on and how they can improve. Additionally, feedback can be seen to be given in a constructive manner. Instead of simply pointing out flaws, offer suggestions for improvement and acknowledge areas where the recipient has excelled. On the flip side, receiving feedback can be challenging. It's important to approach feedback with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Don't take all feedback personally, but instead view it as an opportunity to grow. That's that reframing we talked about, isn't it? Ask careful questions to seek specific examples to help you better understand. And remember to thank the person for their input. It takes courage to give feedback, and showing appreciation can help build a positive relationship. So let's look at a couple scenarios. So scenario one, dealing with a difficult customer. Imagine you're working in a retail store and a customer comes in with a complaint. They're upset and raising their voice, making it difficult to communicate effectively. The first step in dealing with this difficult customer is to remain calm and professional. Take a deep breath and listen carefully to their concerns. You're going to acknowledge their feelings and apologise for any inconvenience that may have been experienced. Offer a solution or an alternative that addresses the issues offer an alternative that addresses their issues. Be sure to follow up to ensure their satisfaction. Remember that the way you handle a difficult situation can make all the difference in turning an unhappy customer into a loyal one. Scenario two, in giving a presentation. Imagine you have been asked to give a presentation to your company board of directors. You want to make sure that you're fully prepared so you can deliver a confident and informative presentation. The first step in preparing for this presentation is to understand your audience. Who will be attending the presentation? What do they already know about the topic? What questions might they have? Once you have a good understanding of your audience, you can start preparing your presentation. This involves creating an outline, gathering information, and creating slides. When creating your slides, it's important to keep them simple and easy to read. Use bullet points and imagine to convey your message. And don't forget, practice. Rehearsing your presentation will help you feel more confident and comfortable when it's time to deliver it. So if we think about moving on to conflict resolution, in our scenario, two team members have different opinions on how they approach the project. This disagreement leads to tension and conflict within the team. As a mediator, it's important to remain neutral and listen to both sides of the argument, encouraging each team member to express their concerns and ideas in a respectful manner. Once both parties have had a chance to speak and work together to find a compromise that satisfies everyone's needs, it may be helpful to brainstorm potential solutions and evaluate the pros and cons of each one. Remember to keep lines of communication open and follow up with teams to ensure solutions are working effectively. Scenario 4 looks at a job interview. Imagine you've just received an interview in a job. The interview is for your dream job, exactly right, but it can also be nerve-wracking. The key to success is preparation. Research the company and the position and practice answering common interview questions. Prepare a list of questions to ask the interviewer. Dress professionally and arrive early to allow time for unexpected delays. During the interview, listen carefully to the questions and take a moment to gather your thoughts before answering. Use specific examples from your experience to demonstrate your skills and qualification. And most importantly, be yourself. Show your enthusiasm and your passion for the job. Remember, the interview is not just about your skills and your qualifications, but about your personality and fits within the company culture. Be prepared to discuss your strengths and your weaknesses, and also be able to challenge challenges that you have faced in your career. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you don't understand the question, and always end the interview by thanking the interviewer for their time and expressing interest in the position. Scenario 5 looks at some teamwork. So here we want you to imagine you're working on a project with a team of colleagues. You will have different ideas and approaches to the work, which can lead to conflict and misunderstanding. However, effective communication is key to resolving these issues and achieve success as a team. One way to improve communication within a team is to establish clear goals and expectations from the onset. This can help ensure everyone is on the same page and working towards the same objectives. Additionally, it's important to actively listen to your teammates and be open to their perspectives. When conflicts does arise or do arrive, try to approach them collaboratively and seek a solution that benefits the entire team. Tailoring questions to the solution. Tailoring questions to the solution and the audience is a crucial aspect of effective communication. The questions you ask should be relevant to the topic being discussed and tailored to the specific audience you are addressing. This helps to ensure that your message is clear and concise, and you have the audience remain engaged throughout the conversation. When tailoring your questions, consider the level of knowledge and expertise of your audience, as well as their interest and motivations. Use open-ended questions to encourage discussion and provide opportunities for participants to share their thoughts and ideas. Avoid using jargon or technical language that may be unfamiliar to your audience, and instead use language that is clear and concise. Handling difficult questions. Handling difficult questions and situations can be a challenge, but with the right approach, it can be an opportunity to showcase your experience and problem-solving skills. One effective strategy is to stay calm, focused, listen carefully to the question or concern, and take a moment to formulate a thorough, thoughtful response. Although the key tip is to acknowledge any valid points or concerns raised by a person asking the question, even if you do not agree with their perspective, this can be build rapport and foster a more productive dialogue. And if you're unsure of the answer, then don't be afraid to admit it and offer a follow-up with additional information and resources. Learning from past experiences and reflecting upon past experiences can be a valuable tool for personal and professional growth. By taking the time to analyse what went well and what could have been improved upon, individuals can learn from their mistakes and make better decisions for the future. This process of self-reflection can also enhance emotional intelligence, and individuals become more aware of their thoughts and feelings, as well as those by others, by learning to recognise patterns in their behaviour and reactions. Individuals can develop greater empathy and communication skills, leading to stronger relationships both at work and in their personal life. Giving constructive feedback. When giving feedback, it's important to focus on the behaviour and the actions that needs improvement, rather than attacking the person. Using specific examples and avoid generalisation to make feedback more accountable, more actionable. Additionally, it's important to use a respectful and helpful tone when giving feedback. Avoid being overly critical or harsh, and instead offer suggestions for improvement and support to help grow and develop. And then finally, receiving feedback is a central part of personal and professional growth. It can be difficult to hear criticism. We've talked about this many times throughout this module, but it's important to approach feedback with an open mind and willingness to learn. One effective strategy is to listen effectively and ask and clarify questions to ensure that they understand the feedback. Additionally, it can be helpful to reflect upon feedback and identify specific actions to take improvements. It's also important to remember that receiving feedback is not a one-time event, but it's an ongoing process of self-improvement, and it requires patience and practice. By approaching feedback with a positive attitude and a commitment to growth, you can turn every toughest criticism into an opportunity for learning and development. What wonderful rephrasing. Preparing for those difficult situations. In order to be prepared for difficult situations in the workplace, it's important to anticipate potential scenarios and plan accordingly. This means taking the time to research and understand the needs and expectations of your audience or colleagues, as well as external factors which may impact the situation. Another key aspect is preparation and practicing, and reflecting upon your skills and knowledge. This can involve role-playing different scenarios, seeking feedback from others, and continually learning and staying up to date in the industry, trends and best practice. Effective communication is valuable in any workplace. It ensures that everyone is on the same page, reduces misunderstandings, and increases productivity, whether it's face-to-face conversations, email, a presentation. Effective communication requires clarity, consciousness, and consideration of your audience. To communicate effectively, it's important to be clear and concise in your message. Use simple language and avoid jargon or technical terms that may not be familiar to your audience. Consider the tone of your message and tailor it to the situation of your audience. Finally, listen actively and ask questions to ensure that you've understood what others are saying. Handling conflicts are a natural part of the workplace, but how you handle them can make all the difference. The key is to remain calm and respectful, even in the face of adversity. One effective approach is to focus on the issues at hand, rather than the person or the people involved. This helps keep emotions from getting out of control and allows everyone to work together to find a solution. Another important tip is to listen actively to others' perspectives. This means truly hearing what people have to say without interrupting them or dismissing them or their point of view. By doing so, you can get better understanding of their concerns and their work towards finding common grounds. Remember, conflict resolution is not about winning or losing, it's about finding mutually beneficial outcomes for everyone involved. Building a relationship is crucial in the workplace, as it fosters a positive, productive environment. When you have a strong relationship with your colleagues, you can communicate more effectively and work together efficiently to achieve common goals. Positive relationships also create a sense of community and support, which can help reduce stress levels and increase job satisfaction. To build a positive relationship, it's important to be respectful and to consider towards colleagues the meaning of active listening to them, showing appreciation for their contributions and being open to feedback. It's also important to be reliable and trustworthy, following through on commitments and being honest and transparent in your communication. Finally, taking the time to get to know your colleagues on a personal level can help build rapport and create a more friendly and supportive work environment. Stress management. Stress is a common experience in the workplace, and it can have a negative impact both physically and mentally on your health. It's important to learn how to manage stress effectively to maintain a healthy work-life balance. One effective way of managing stress is to practice mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing and meditation. These techniques can help you stay focused and calm in a stressful situation. Another way to manage stress is to prioritize self-care activities such as exercise and getting enough sleep. Taking breaks throughout the day to ensure that help reduces stress levels. It's important to remember that everyone experiences stress differently, so finding what works for you is key in effective stress management. And finally, in conclusion, we've discussed the importance of being able to respond to a variety of situations in the workplace. We have covered the benefits of role play, diversifying appropriate questions and reflecting on past experiences. Additionally, we've provided tips on how to effectively give out reflective feedback, handle conflicts, and build positive relationships. To apply what you have learned today, we encourage you to practice role-playing with your colleagues, reflect on past experiences and learn from them, and actively seek feedback from others. Remember, effective communication, stress management, and teamwork are key components to a successful team. Thank you for your attention. Any questions, by all means, pop them in the emails or the WhatsApp group. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you found that useful. And now if we just go back to session 8. So session 8 then, we've made relevant constructive contributions to move the discussion forward. So here, moving the discussion forward in functional skills level 2 or essential skills writing discussions, you get your marks to move the discussion forward. Once you're involved in the discussion, you'll be able to identify to be able to move it forward. You know a discussion has lost the way, the conversation seems to be going around in circles. There are a number of ways this might happen. Proposals may not be clear. Those presenting may not be able to agree for some reason. People may be listening to not listen to each other properly. There may be some external pressures limiting the discussion, so lack of time. The outcome is unclear. Not all the facts are known. So moving things on or slowing them down is a skill. So listening to the short video below, we want you to have a look at the discussions for people, making sharing always safer and welcoming for their visitors. When you hear someone say something that either moves the discussion on or stops it moving on, pause the video and write it down. You'll probably need to listen to the audio more than once. So again, you've got that there. So what I want you to do now is go through this activity, have a look and a listen about moving the discussion on, pausing it, and write it down, and then you've got your transcript there. Okay, lovely. And then finally, in section 8, you've also got your task, your making relevant contributions, reading a book here. And again, you can download that, have a read of that, and that's just a few more tips and hints on making relevant contributions and moving discussions forward. Anyway, we're coming to the end of our speaking and listening section now. We've got 2 more sessions to go. We have session 9, which is then adapting contribution, or adapt contributions to discussion to suit the audience, purpose, and medium. And then finally, number 10, intertext, redirect discussions using appropriate language. And then we'll talk about the assessment. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in module 9.